All right, welcome
Yeah.
to it. Hey, everybody. Nice to see everybody joining us again.
Hey,
Hello. Hello, Marcel. Hello. You got
how are
Oh,
you?
this is nice. Look at everybody just flowing in.
Aw.
Yay.
Yeah.
Chloe
Also,
uppy.
Flowy
Yeah,
uppy.
it reminds
Everyone's
me of the
flowy
flowy
uppy.
uppy. Everybody's
Good one, myself.
here we
the
go.
flowy uppy. I've been looking at flowy uppies all day.
Amazing. And we're also live on Twitch. Welcome to it. It's yet another episode of the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout. It's so nice to see everybody. We've got a bunch of new friends as well. I see you hiding in around the background. I see some flames, but not of the hot kind. What is that there, Vix? It's
Bubbles out of the washing machine. What is
Oh
all
my
these
God.
bubbles?
It's a rinse cycle. We're talking about cycles today. So it's a rinse cycle, it's a dry cycle, it's a moon cycle,
Check that out.
and we
Check
need
that
a
out.
lot of
I was wondering.
energy.
It's the energy. That's what it is. It's like an energy drink. That's amazing. A little bit of Gatorade,
Energy drinks. Yeah, we got sport drinks. We're being healthy tonight.
Because
but,
we're cycling.
You know,
We're cycling.
I
So we
get
need
it.
energy
Look at
drinks.
Oh,
this.
right, recycling, hence the bicycle. You're way too smart for us. Even Noel Barney in the
Cycling.
safety third. I see it. Love it.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell behind you. Ring the bell.
Ring, ring, ring. All right. So I see what's going on with that pump there as well. Marcel, if you need extra air, there's a quick sort of sort of air system.
Pump
Quick
it.
fix.
Let's pump the coin.
Let's not. We need to blow the beard up a little bit, Badger. Also, I've got some notes in front of me. I'm just trying to read it. Trade cycles. I will not hold on to coins. That's exactly the theme for today, unless, of course, you're way into hodling and farming, which is a whole different cup of tea or cup of dip in front of Wendy. But welcome to this episode number 22. Of the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangouts, and things are cooking up all over the world, and we have got some hot topics going on for you just as well. There's some bubbles and cool drinks. Michelle's not here today to enjoy her Long Island, I see. Yeah, but we're going to talk about bulls and bears. We're talking about progression and regression, retracements, and all those kind of good things. As you've all seen in the little teaser, little flyer we sent out. We're going to be chatting all things cycles, all right? And hence why. What do you want, Wendy? You're looking for something. Sorry.
I was seeing what was behind my hat. I got a little chicky babe hatching out behind my hat.
That's a life cycle.
It was pecking behind my hat. So I was just wondering.
And the moon phases. There's moon phases.
The moon cycle,
Yeah. But I mean, listen, you're from Texas. I'm surprised there isn't a roast chicken somewhere as well, because you're talking about life cycles. Anyway, I'm getting hungry. But anyway, enough about that. More to bubbles. Vix, this is such a beautiful interactive background again. I love how much effort you put into this. And everybody else is joining us, thanks for being here. We do appreciate it. We're going to start off. There are a couple of announcements. But first up, I see, she's on the call. Last week we had a number of contests. Well done to all those winners. Hopefully you've all submitted your support tickets with your MetaMask, Binance Smart Chain wallet addresses, so you can send or at least receive those BTAF tokens. Congrats to all of you who participated in last week's live contest. And we had one other contest that was running, and we're very happy to announce, put the numbers and names into a hat. And Donna Cien, congrats, you found all the hearts on the bitcointaf.com website. Well done. All right, we've got your wallet.
Yay.
Congrats.
You gotta be in it to win it. That's literally the theme of life. And well done, Donacy, and that's really cool. We'll be sending you some BTAF tokens for finding all the hearts from 2 weeks ago on our lovely Valentine's centered themed little session. So that was a lot of fun. And in today's session, it's gonna be slightly different. Today's actually a very enlightening session. I'm very, very excited. I've had a look at the content that Vicky's going to be showing us shortly, as well as what Wendy's going to be chatting about, and that's cycles. So I know, Wendy, you've had a couple of coins that you've had good experiences with, and you followed them for a couple of days, and then, sometimes they go away. You don't marry any coins, do you, Wendy?
Never. Ever. No.
So
is that a no?
That's a no. That's a no.
Are you sure? All right. Okay. I know. Marcel, how about you? I think you were married to Solana for
Sometimes I get into like a longer relationship that I would have liked, but no, I don't marry them.
That's a little involuntary investment. I mean, marriages. I mean, yes, no, we understand those. But yeah, I remember you were farming Solana for a while, and you were married to Solana, and that seemed pretty
It
profitable.
was just like a summer fling thing.
Ah, summer thing. Okay, a little fling. All right, that's it's still in the month of love. That's what we're going to be chatting about. We're going to be chatting about coin cycles, not just the cycles of the moon and everything else. But yeah, Badger, I think starting off talking about cycles, there's some really great developments within the Hodlnots Lodge, and it's really great to see a number of our members not only cycling through the 3M challenge and the different tiers. I mean, we've seen one person who started in November has gone from yellow all the way to green already, which is pretty darn amazing. Not on the call at the moment, but I'd love to give her recognition. But then also a number of our members as well really jumping on and into hodl fire trades. That's been pretty amazing to see. I know, Vix, you've seen them, Badger, you've seen them, Wendy. Seeing people grabbing a whole bunch of hodl fire trades, 1 hour, 4 hours, and really experimenting and actually doing well. Super, super awesome to see. Hey,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's definitely starting to spread now.
that
Yeah, I
fire.
think our whole lodge is turning into a Firewind Lodge. There are such success stories in there. Between the coins that have been running this week, Jasmine, Peppy, you name it, Dexy. There's lots of them running right now. The market is hot.
Absolutely. And especially as scalpers, when we're able to get in and out of these coins, grab percentages literally in minutes. Meanwhile, those who are in the long-term trades as well, or hodl fire trades and snuggles. I saw in the lodge somebody had snuggled Pepe, I think it was, and that was amazing. It was something like 22% or something. But I'm sure that's going to be in next week or the next session's report, Badger. Yeah, great to see. Awesome, awesome. Well, speaking of that, let's quickly have a quick catch up, Marcel, if you don't mind, and just see what's been cooking over in the den before we start talking about coin and coin cycles.
Well, okay. The week ending 18th of February, we had a bunch of coins run well again, with multiple people in the den taking profits. So let's just quickly read through some of them. Here's someone grabbed almost 20% on LPT. Another person grabbed on LPT. This is a coin that I haven't traded, but someone grabbed 13% on it. So just getting back to what you asked us earlier, do you get married to a coin? I don't even know this coin, and someone profited 30% from it. So great on that. 6% on bond. Sorry, I forgot the percentage thing there. Then from 14%, 22% on reds, another one that I don't know. Well, I've seen it, but I haven't traded myself. 3 trades, almost 8%. Sometimes we when the market on the day or on the hour that you're trading, some of the coins might be retracing, but some people, they still take little chunks, and it can add up to, like you see, 8% on 3 trades. That's amazing. 4.4% on a small, on a quick run, and then I've included at the bottom here, I've included some firewinds from the hodl fire. As you can see, this is just some of them. I've tried to include multiple members' results, although there's a couple of them that do tend to nail it more often. Then have a look. There's 15% on render, super 13%, Ajax 12.3, or N 49%. That's a massive, massive profit from the hodl fire there. Then if we go on to the next week, this was now ending this last Sunday. Pixel was a big one, and I saw one of our members moved up a level on a 3M challenge because of Pixel, and I actually think this might have been her. Then Jasmine, 5%, 6%, 10%, and I've included multiple trades from multiple people in this report, just to show the ones that not necessarily a Hodlnot yet. They can see that it's not only one person profiting from a call, it is multiple people in the den that's profiting from the same run.
Yeah,
which is quite cool. Again, spell, same thing. Big spell run, there was a 6%, 5%, another 7%. So everyone's taking profit.
Oh yeah.
10% on EPX, 6% on EPX, 6% on Uni, and then another, I just included another 2 Firewinds on this. 42% on DYDX, and there was a 13% on GRT. So I think I'll in the future I'll include some Firewinds. Sometimes there are some of them. I know in the next report there's going to be a massive one because it happened just after this report ended. Looking forward to report on that one. And that's it.
Yeah, listen, I mean, that 6.53% was mine, and a number of other people jumped in and grabbed at the same time. And one of our other, well, I mean, our members are always calling these coins, and people are profiting together. I remember one member who's been trying the HODL Fire strategy called EPX, and everybody was grabbing. That's on top of the HODL Fires that are going on, and we see a number of our members who are HODL firing, using the HODL Fire indicator. And they're also scalping the coin at the same time. And I think that, yeah, if you guys and girls can really understand how you can both scalp as well as be in a HODL Fire trade with a coin over a longer time frame, the 1 hour strategy, I mean, it's fantastic. Then, hell, it's a win-win, really, hey?
Exactly. Like you said, some of them are scalping and HODL firing them. So it's almost like you profit twice.
Absolutely. I know there was a big one from one of our, I wouldn't say a pioneers, but one of our members who uses the HODL Fire strategy often. There was a really big one played over a slightly higher time frame. I presume that's going to be in 2 weeks' time. I'm itching
exactly. That just missed this last one. So, but it's enormous.
It's very big. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I mean, listen. Yeah. Oh, Nico's here. Hey. I think it's a great opportune time because funny enough, we were going to be talking about something. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, let's give you right there, Nico. Welcome to it. We were just talking about this in the beginning a little bit. We're going to start chatting about NFTs. Welcome to it, sir.
Yes, I'm actually here to crash the party. I'm here to crash.
We encourage that as long as you brought your own drink.
Want a drink, Nico? Do you have a drink?
And I brought some dogs with me.
Oh God. Tell us more. I mean, listen, you're more than welcome to jump in. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. Nico, I don't know if you'd like to jump on quick, and you can even just share very briefly a little teaser about where we're going to pop you. Let's pop you here. Actually, we'll give you a drink because you didn't bring your own. So, Nico.
There you go.
Here we go. You can jump on. Let's see. Maybe you got a really funky avatar, but otherwise jump on and give us a little teaser about what to expect on next week's BTAF token AMA, because our Inner Circle and IPO members have had a little sneak peek as to what's coming.
Let me just try to get my avatar ready here.
Lovely.
Right. So yeah, thank you for crashing the party. I just want to share my screen quickly.
Go for it.
Give you a little sneak preview. The dogs have been keeping me crazy already. We had a little small preview yesterday, but I think a lot of our members would like to see what they're in for. So I'm just going to give a little sneak preview. Not going to show a lot for obvious reasons, but there's like 50 dogs that's already ready to leave this kennel. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Well, I mean, if you turn your camera on, we can see your avatar. I'm dying to see your avatar to see how realistic it looks like.
Definitely. Okay, let me just do this and share. And
oh my word! Look at those cute little things.
I like that one on the far right. Those eyes. That's awesome.
Oh my goodness! Look at these bulldogs.
I don't want to scroll too much through them. I don't want to scroll too much. I don't want to go down. You can see some
faces. Oh, just a sneak peek.
Sneak peek. You can see here's the nerdy one, and there's a very alert one. They all have unique names. They all have unique numbers, and they're all part of this is the blue letter. There's going to be a couple of different letters. So I just want to adapt the size a little bit. Do this. Oops. This zoom window, I just want to bring it up down a bit. So there is some other ones here.
Oh, look at that. Organic litter.
Organic litter. So just to give you an idea, the jumping out here, they're more realistic ones that we have available. So they're part of the organic litter. They're all fully grown already. They came from Christmas already. So yeah, they're already full grown, got their space suits and goggles. everything ready. So yes. Can't wait to reveal them next week to the public. It's the AUA. We're gonna launch them on the AUA publicly, and I believe later also on the LTT call again. So please make a turn. We can't wait to show you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well,
Very
thank you. Thanks for showing us a sneak peek.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
No one's ever going to say no to puppies crashing the party. And yeah, for everybody else, look at you. You look so.
There you go. Look at him.
You can't miss the bald head, can you?
That's funny.
You
But
know,
yeah,
a cowboy hat covers that up, Nico.
Nah,
hashtag just
I'm
saying.
cowboy about it. I'm a nut.
So
Cowboy of the trade.
Cute.
for
Cute.
everybody on the call and those who have rights to the long-term trade report, and Nico will be chatting about these pups, these cyber dogs, and all the litters a little bit more. Otherwise, definitely join us for next week's BTAF token AMA, and we'll be dropping as per usual. If you guys aren't in the BTAF token announcement channel, definitely make sure that you are able to get in there. If you're not, drop us a little either support ticket. Otherwise, check out the lodge, especially for those who are Hodlnots. But maybe we can drop it also in the BTAF Bitcoin Tap main channel, how to join the announcement channel, and then also you can join our AMA/AUA next week when we're chatting all about these cyber dogs and the puppies, blue litter, the organic litter, and so much more. So that's beautiful, Nico. You're more than welcome to stay on as we're going to be chatting all about cycles, coin cycles, and the Bitcoin halving. All right,
Thanks.
Lovely. Thanks, Nico.
You too. Thanks so much.
Beautiful, lovely.
Thank you, Nico.
Thanks. You can have a drink. Oh, okay, you could have taken a drink with you. Anyways, so Wendy, talking about coins, because I mean we are going to be using, and this ties in beautifully with Vicky and in terms of networks a little later, but we'll be able to purchase those CyberDogs NFTs from bitcointaf.com, but we can use certain coins. Now, talking about coins, we're going to talk about coin cycles. So tell us a little bit more, and I believe you want to share a live screen.
I do. I'm not going to go into super in depth, but I think that my intent is to give you, each of you that are watching, a light bulb moment. So this is something that we're very familiar with in the Hodlnots course, is light bulb moments and getting a little bit closer to understanding how cryptocurrency coin cycles work. So I'm going to give a brief demonstration, but I'm hoping that it will, help you trade a little bit better and understand why scalp trading is so much fun and why we make money in crypto, even in downtrends. So if I could, I'm going to share my screen. And let's go over a little live demonstration here. And I'm going to try and do this without going into a big, long course. So if you want to know more about what we do and why these cycles work and how they work with cryptocurrency, this will show you why Wendy and the rest of the scalp traders in Hodlnots love scalp trading, because of the way the coins move. It plays a big difference in long-term trading. So let me explain it to you using Bitcoin, because why Bitcoin is going up. So this right here on my screen is what you can see is the day chart. This is 1 day of time right here today, and Bitcoin's been going up for the last 3 days. And you can see here, I've got this on the HODL Fire. And with the HODL Fire, we want to teach everybody about the trend line. And I don't mind going into a little bit of this, because if you can understand the trend line and use it on your trading view, you're going to see it's a very powerful tool to be able to see where the trend is going. So this is what we call the SMA, which is a simple moving average. It's slow. It's slower than the ones that we use for scalp trading, which I won't go into because I'll be here all day. But what I want to show you is this one here. And when you put an SMA on using your indicators tabs here, you're going to find a simple moving average. You're going to go in here and you're going to turn this on to 200. And this is what we do. And we add this, and we have this on the instruction video or the explainer video for the HODL Fire. So we'd like you to use this along with the HODL Fire, because as you can see here on the day chart, whatever 200 SMA is doing, the moving average, that's what the coin is doing. So as you can see, as we scroll up on Bitcoin, you can clearly see this is why Marius and long-term traders of Bitcoin like to be in, they get in Bitcoin and they just hold on for this long haul. And what happens is in between all of these days that's going by, there's lots of noise in the coins. They go up and down and up and down and up and down, which this up and down cycle is what gives us lots of opportunities to farm coins if you're a long-term trader using the higher time frames, or what we use the short time frames for is capturing profits in all of these big runs that go all the time. So you can see here, this from the pivot point that came in, this is another way to trade, is using the hodl fire. You would have bought the coin here and you still be in that coin on Bitcoin. And if you were using the hodl fire with this time frame on the day chart, you can see that in the last 34 days, you'd be up 48% in your portfolio alone. But what I'm here to tell you is I want to shrink this back, and I'm going to turn the hodl fire off for just a minute. And because I want to work on the cycle of coins. So you can see here, and I want to kind of get this down so you can kind of see it. But if you can see this 200 trend line is just kind of going sideways. Well, what happened was during this time frame between 2018 and 2021, the market was basically going in a sideways motion if you were looking at the trend. And during that trend, we have days, lots and lots of days that the coin went up in price, and then it went down in price, and it went up in price, and it went down in price. And then it had big movements here in price and big down movements in price. And this is why it's very important for people to be taught and trained and educated in cryptocurrency. So even if you're a long-term trader, this is what we teach, is that if you bought in the coin back in April of 2000 and you saw that the top was here, you made almost 700% profit. Well, if you didn't take your profit off of the top and you didn't know when there was going to be a big drop in the market, you just took away 56% of your profit. And then you could have bought more and you could have ridden it up again. And this is the cycles of the coins. So the cycle of the coin will go from sideways, the coin will go up, and then it goes sideways again. And then you can see that it goes down, and now we're in an uptrend. So if you follow this 200 simple moving average, you're going to see the trend of a coin. But now what I want to show you, which is really important because every time frame works like this. Okay, so now when a coin crosses, when the candles are crossing on any time frame, they do the same thing. They cross and then they go up for a while. They either go sideways and then they come down. And sometimes they come down really hard and they cross this 200 line again. And then the cycle starts all over again. When the coin comes down on a time frame and it goes under the 200, it has to cycle back around and it comes back up again and it goes up on the day chart just the same way. But what the light bulb moment that I want to get in your head is the fact that this that we're looking for right now, or that we're looking at, is on the day chart. And you can see that in this last 3 days, this coin has been going up. But now if we bounce to the 1 minute, and this is what is so great about scalp trading. Look at this on the minute chart and you will be shocked. Okay. So again, the cycle is the same. It goes across, it goes up, and it has these movements, and it follows this 200 trend line. And then it'll do the same thing. It'll come up, it'll cross, it'll come down, and it rotates over and over and over. Well, when we have the big moves and what I'm talking about, the downtrend. So when you have coins that are going way down like this, what's happening is you're losing all your money, and then it's coming all the way back up. And it cycles over and over and over again. So when you hit the top of a time frame, then it's got to cycle and come all the way back down. So when it comes back down, the longer time frame that you have, the longer that the coin will be down. So what I mean by that is, let's look at this on the day chart again. And I just want to explain this to you. So when a coin is now, let's just say Bitcoin's here, and it retraces 21%. Well, this is over a period of 2 weeks, 14 days. So what happens is Bitcoin, even though the trend of the coin is going up, Bitcoin's in a retracement and it's going down. It'll be at the bottom of the food chain is what I call it. It's at the bottom. It goes from being on the top of the food chain way up high to 20% down. And people start freaking out and then going, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's going 20% down. We're in a big crash. It's going south of China. Well, it's not true. This is why to be trained and educated in cryptocurrency and how the cycles work, you will need to know when these points of retracement are, and that this is well above the coin is still going up. So if you can at least use this, and if you're nice enough to have the HODL fire on, you'll know good opportunities of when to buy and sell to capture profits with the HODL fire. But you will also know that even though this is a 20% loss, that the trend is going up and you will turn around and make it back up. This is why lots of people who are very busy during the day use long-term reports, and they use Marius's long-term because they filter out all of this noise. You can see that all the panic that's in the market, and they don't listen to it. They see that the trend line is going up, they stay with the coin, and they don't worry about this. They sleep at night. But for scalp traders, we have lots of opportunities in these big moves every single day to make money all day long in every single one of these green candles every day. So basically, hopefully that is a good explanation for you to show you that it really is different in the trend of a coin versus really what a loss is. And to be able to see and read a chart, knowing that not listening to the FOMO of the news that's going on, and that, hey, 20 Bitcoin just dropped 20%, woo woo woo, it's crashing, and not when you're educated, you don't panic. You know exactly what we're doing, that the trend of Bitcoin is up and it's very strong today. So hopefully that was a little light bulb moment that everybody could grasp onto. So that's it for me on trading cycle, and
that's
understanding why we rotate coins and why there's new ones at the top all the time, because they have to go through retracement so that they all drop, and we grab the ones that are running every single day as scalp traders. So join our Hodlnots course. It's coming up really, really soon in the next couple of weeks. So we hope to teach and train more people how to trade crypto.
That's a beautiful segue. Exactly what I was going to be covering up next, Vix. We're talking about upcoming course. And thank you for sharing that, Wendy, because it's super important to be able to look at the bigger picture of things. If you are to every single day open up your portfolio and be like, oh no, I'm down 4% or whatever it is, and you panic sell, but if you don't zoom out and look at that bigger picture, and this is why we teach it on the course, we teach timeframes. And if you can understand 1 to 15-minute timeframes, and then apply the same principle to 1 hour, 4 hour, and again, that comes into play with the HODL fire strategy. And it really does give you a better sense of peace as well, being able to read those timeframes and those coin cycles. Know when that coin is going down for a couple of days or a couple of weeks by looking at those higher time frames versus, oh, just a normal healthy retracement on the 1, 5, 15 minutes kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, that SMA, it is super important. Like Wendy has said, if you go check the videos out on the HODL fire, hopefully all of you on the call, I see a couple of new names. Hopefully you've all had a little look at the HODL fire indicator. It is free for all of you to try it for 7 days. If you haven't yet, what you can do is you can drop a support ticket anywhere on the back office, at least in your support ticket center, and say, hey, I'd love to try out the HODL fire strategy. It is in the product store as well. You can head on over to look for the HODL fire indicator at checkout. Look for the 7-day free trial coupon. If you haven't used it yet, we'll need to know your TradingView username, and you can give it a go. And definitely watch those videos on that. But speaking about videos and course material, Vix, our next course starts on March 15th, I think it is. Vix, you might be muted.
And I'm muted, yes. No, I'm just muted. Newbie mistake. And it does start on March 14th, and we already have signups So we already
Oh.
have people signed up. We already have them doing, we have a series of pre-course videos that they can go through while they're waiting for the course to start, which helps them set up for the course. So we really encourage people to join as soon as possible. And if you haven't heard, our course fee is going up. So
Yeah.
it will stay the same for March, $695, but in May, the May course will go up to $780. So even if you don't want to do the course in March, buy it now, and you can certainly do it in May, but just get in before that price rises. That's my tip
Absolutely.
for the day.
Thanks, Vic's tip for the day. And
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to interrupt. Can I interrupt? Can I please, can I
I'm
interrupt?
tempted to say
Yeah.
no, but go for it. We're cycling around again. It's Marcel's turn after this. So yeah, your turn, Wendy. Go for it.
Okay, I want to show you really quick why scalp trading is so fantastic right now. Okay, so this is a coin. This is Jasmine. This has been running massively. So you can either hodl fire it or you can get in here and you can 1 minute scalp it. But check out this coin. I think it's ORDI. This is how we minute scalp. And I just wanted to share this. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, look at this. Look at this. So you can see this is exactly what I just got through talking about. This 200 line is going up. The trend of the coin is going up, but this is on the 1 minute. So you can see that if you would have gotten in this coin and you knew when to enter and exit, and you can be using the hodl fire at the same time, there's 11% that somebody would have made in 15 minutes. And again, if you're using the hodl fire, you just did it all over again. You bought on this right here, and then you cashed out here with another 7% in 18 minutes. So this is how we make money scalp trading. And this is the tool using the hodl fire with the scalp trading. But these coins run all day long. Now, Ordi is not going to be up at the top of the food chain in a couple days. So as it rotates in cycles, doing these cycles, you want to follow this trend line up. And this is how we scalp trade. So I'm sorry, I just got excited when I saw Ordi. So I just wanted to
Yay.
share that because it went in with the cycles.
Did you
Perfect.
get into it or did you just see it?
No, I missed it because I was on this call, but that's okay. It's important to be on these calls.
It is, and it's so important as well to be in our lodge and our den because this is where all the magic is happening. We have members, yeah, we have members who are sharing these various coins that they're looking at on the high time frames, looking for the hodl fire strategy,
Fab.
1 or 4 hour, and it's incredibly powerful. There's such a sharing community. Just a big public shout out to Graham for everything he's done so far as well for the community. Not just you, Wendy. I mean, obviously, without you and all the development behind the scenes indicator, Graham and a bunch of our members have really grabbed this indicator by the horns in this.
Oh, I'm just loving the fire winds. I'm just loving it. And Graham, yeah, he's leading the pack with it. So I'm happy to give him that title, Mr. Firewind.
Yeah, just keep me away because I'm still on duty and if I see fire, I put it out. It's not like a Graham's. I see trade and I take it. So yeah, let's.
The fireman in you does that.
Yeah, you can take John out of the fire, but not fire out of John. But anyways, moving on swiftly. Yeah, so just very quickly, I just on this note, we had a really great bunch of students in our last January course. So I just really wanted to read out just very 3 quick testimonials that we received from them. They weren't paid to say any of this. Great course and a wonderful community. Thank you for providing these opportunities to people for much needed skills. That is completely anonymous, as is this one. Excellent, simplified the unknown for me, and now it is up to me to practice and reach out for help where and when necessary. Such a great support group, and it is a 24-hour community. We got support and members in there in all hours of the day. When we're sleeping and the coins are running, obviously we've got people in Australia and the States and Canada all over who are on top of that. And this is from an Australian, no names mentioned, but the Bitcoin Tough Hodlnots Sculpting course is an exciting journey of learning and doing. Continual support from multiple trainers, program check-ins, and a highly encouraged group interaction was simply fantastic. This combination made for a fabulous and fun learning environment. Wendy's Hodlnots hands-on course has taken my trading to the next level. And just by the way, it's a slight tangent. This person had plenty of financial and forex trading experience. Thank you, Wendy, and the trainers. I highly recommend this course to both new and seasoned traders. And again, one of our members, one we mentioned earlier, who started the 3M challenge, she's gone from yellow through to pink, through to green, doubling up her portfolio. She came from Forex and large trading volume experience, and she's been loving starting off the $20 and moving up through the ranks. There is just so much on offer, and we're very excited to welcome the new batch of students. Again, like Vicky said, grab it while the price is as it is. There is a halvening happening, I guess, Vicky, with regards to the course fee in a way.
Except the opposite way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in terms of scarcity, because it's demand supply, but again, inflation and yeah, it's still such incredible value. But that was trying to be a segue there, Vix, for your next section, which is also the halvening. And hopefully you guys all got your thinking caps on, because this is, while it might seem a little above our heads, even above mine, this is really, really important, because in the next couple of months, we're going to be seeing the Bitcoin halvening. And what does it really mean for us as well as crypto? And Vicky's going to take us through all of that.
That's a big subject. Go for it, Vicky. Let's go.
It is a big subject, but we wanted to do it because we hear about it a lot. Everyone talks about the Bitcoin halving or halvening. People use both words. And we just wanted to give you a little taste of what it means if you don't know what it means. And also this on my screen. So hopefully you can see my screen now. So the halvening. Before we talk about what the halvening is, what I wanted to do first, for everyone that isn't quite sure what a Bitcoin transaction actually has to go through to get your coins from one person to the other. It all has to do with the halvening, but I think to understand what the halvening means, you have to understand what a Bitcoin transaction is first and how it works. This is right here on my screen, a life cycle of one transaction, basically. So it starts out with, you want to send some Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network to a friend. So what you do here is right here, you get the recipient's wallet address and you put that wallet address in wherever you're sending it from. So your wallet, your exchange, and you put their address in and you put how much you want to send and you send it. And that's really all you see as such, as far as you're concerned. But in the background, all this happens, and it happens, I'll tell you, within 10 minutes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But after you do that, what happens is a computer takes over, or a blockchain, or a bunch of computers take over, and the blockchain goes and does what it does best. So the next thing it does is when you hit that send button, the first thing that happens is, now you've heard a lot about private keys. So your wallet gets your private key from wherever it is, and it says, are you allowed to do this? You know, is your wallet allowed to do this? And it goes tick, yep, I have the private keys, you have what you say you have. So it goes tick, and that's finished. But then what happens is kind of a mystery to some people. So I wanted to talk about this section here. So the very next thing that happens is your transaction pops onto the blockchain, and it is captured by something called a node. So what a node is, it's actually a series, let's say, of computers that hold full copies of the blockchain. So there's these computers, or a series of computers, or a group of computers all over the world that have an entire full copy of the entire blockchain. And what they do is they grab your one little transaction and they go, is this true? Does this person have what they say they have? Are they, you know, is the private key correct? So they validate your transaction before it even gets to anywhere, because if they don't validate it, it's not true, your transaction is going to fail. So they grab everyone's transactions, they validate transactions, but they also keep the history of the entire blockchain, like I said. And they also dictate the rules. So they grab your transaction, yes, you're who they say they are. Okay, so once they do that, they go to the next step. It's kind of in the middle here, right here. They put everyone's transactions in the world that are doing this transaction right now on the Bitcoin blockchain into kind of a queue. So they say, yep, your transaction's valid, and so is Sally's, and so is John's, and so is Wendy's, and so is Marcel's, and so are the million other people that are doing the transaction at that particular moment. and they put it in a queue, and it sits there until a miner says, yep, I'm going to pick that one transaction out, and I'm going to put it into something called a block. So the blockchain makes a block, and the blockchain puts in certain information into this block before it's even filled. So you have this empty block, and this block contains information that the blockchain puts in it, and one of them is called a hash, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But everyone's transactions in the world are sitting in this queue, and what the miners do, and they pick and choose, and they pick and choose and pick and choose, and they fill this empty block with everyone's transactions that are doing that at the moment. So what can happen is, and I'm going to do a little bit of a side thing here. I don't know if some people know, but you can speed up your transactions validation, or you can make them slower by changing how much gas fee you use. So what the miners are doing, going, oh, okay, he's faster, so I'll pick his first. And then no, he's slower. So your transaction sits in this big pool until the miners pop it out and they put it in this empty block. So this empty block gets filled and filled and filled and filled with everyone's transactions. And like I said, the block already contains information that the blockchain has put in, and it's a series of numbers, basically. And right here, it's teeny tiny. This is what's called a hash, and it's 64 characters, and it's automatically generated by the blockchain when it starts a new block. And this will become very important in a minute. But once all of these individual transactions, so yours and Marcel's and John's and Wendy's and mine, are picked out and put in this empty block, the block is filled and the block is filled and the block is filled until it's filled completely, because there's only a certain amount of transactions that can fit in a block. So once that happens, that's when the miners get more involved. So this is this right here. So what the miners need to do now is, okay, I'm going to take this entire block. I've batched all these little transactions in the block, and I'm going to validate them all at once. So that they're basically going to validate that this block has been filled with correct transactions because the node said they were correct. So the block's been filled. They basically, now we want to put it forever on the blockchain. So what they're going to do is they're going to validate that this block is able to be put on the blockchain forever. And Bitcoin miners do something called proof of work, POW. So what that means is they have to work to validate this block. They can't just go, yep, it's validated. And the way they do it, and it's a little bit of a misnomer, sometimes if you hear about proof of work, a lot of people think it's this huge mathematical calculation that they have to do, and it is a lot of computing power, but it's actually not a calculation. What it is this hash here was auto-generated by the blockchain, and it sits in the particular block. What the miners are having to do is they have to randomly generate other hashes very fast, and they have to actually come up one which is a smaller number. So really what they're doing is they're just quickly generating random numbers, random hashes, random of these 64, number hashes. So they're all competing against each other as well. So miners don't work together as such in a blockchain, in a Bitcoin blockchain. So all of these miners are competing each other to be the first one to get this 64-digit number that is smaller than the original number in the block. I don't know why, that's just the way it was designed. So whoever designed this blockchain, that's the way they wanted people to validate that this was real. So they're all doing it quickly and quickly and quickly, and they're using a ton of computing power to do it. And that's why you hear sometimes that, the power to mine Bitcoin is gigantic, because all these computers are generating these random numbers. But what happens is when one of the miners goes boop and they finally get the right answer, it goes down to here. So when they finally get the right answer, they'll go, oh, I got the right answer. Okay. So what they do is they go, okay, I think it's right. They attach the block that's now finished to their own blockchain. It's not out in the world yet. It's kind of their own little blockchain. And then they say, okay, I've attached it, it's real. And then they send it over to the node again. So here's the node again. And they go, okay, is this correct? So what the node does is it goes, okay, I'm going to check your work. I'm going to send it to all the rest of the nodes in the world. So one node says, yeah, they send it to the next one, next one, next one, next one, because all of the nodes have to agree that it's correct. And that's actually why blockchain is so good, because if all of the nodes don't say yes in either of these, so if they don't say yes here, it's not going to be a transaction or a valid transaction. And if they don't say yes here, it's also not. So there's kind of quite a security thing going on, because no one person owns all of the nodes. They're just, one's in Spain and one's in China and one's and it's different people. So they all have to agree that it's correct. Once they do, this is what happens. And this is what we're going to be talking about. We haven't really talked about the halvening yet. So what happens is once the nodes in the world say, yep, it's fine, they take that little block off this little miner's blockchain and they put it on the official record. So it goes onto the official record. They pump it out to all the nodes in the world again. So every node now has the official blockchain record. And that's why you really can't fight a blockchain, because not one person owns it. If you say, oh, that node's wrong, well, the rest of the 1,000 nodes can say, no, it's not, it's right. So that shouldn't happen anyway. It should all be the same. So what happens is the little block with all your transaction, your one transaction, and everyone else millions transaction in that one container, basically. So a block is a container of transactions, gets put on the blockchain, and the miner who solved this hash problem gets rewarded. And the way he gets rewarded is new Bitcoins are minted at that point. And at the moment, for each block of all of those tiny little transactions in one block, the miners get 6.25 Bitcoins at the moment. So just to recap, your one transaction goes into a pool with millions of other ones. They get put into one container, which is called a block. The miners mine it, and once they find that it's a correct yes tick, they put it onto the blockchain, and whoever gets the correct hash gets rewarded. And what the reward is 6.25 Bitcoin, which is actually amazing, but you have to think about all the power that they've been using to do that as well. So we're going to come back to this, because this is what the halvening is all about. So new Bitcoins are created. In fact, 6.25 Bitcoins are created at that moment, and they're given to the miner who solved the problem, basically, or who solved the hash problem. You don't see any of that. And then what happens is ping, and then your recipient gets the confirmation that ping, your transactions worked. You get the confirmation, ping, the transactions worked, and off you go. All of that takes about 10 minutes on the Bitcoin blockchain. So that's important to remember as well. So if you're using the Bitcoin blockchain, it's going to take about 10 minutes to do that. So if you're sending Bitcoin, that's why it takes so long. It's designed to take 10 minutes. It sometimes takes a bit more, sometimes takes a bit less, but it is actually designed to 10 minutes. So it's not really affected by a lot of other outside things, which we'll talk about in a minute, because if outside things start to affect it, the algorithm in the blockchain switches, and it switches it back to 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is important. So we're going to just talk about this. So now you understand what happens in a transaction. We're going to go back to this one, and we're going to go to the next slide. And I'm just going to side diverge here for a moment and just talk about this. As sometimes people wonder why different blockchains take a different amount of time to confirm your transactions. So Bitcoin always takes 10 minutes. It's just the way it's designed, a bit less, a bit more. And they use the proof of work. So again, proof of work is when the miners get their hands on the transactions and they put them in the blocks and they try to get that hash code. And then it goes through. It's designed to take 10 minutes, and that's what happens. But Ethereum takes 12 seconds. So anything on the Ethereum network shouldn't take any more than 12 seconds. It could be a bit more, could be a bit less. This particular blockchain depends on things like network congestion. It depends on how many transactions are happening. It depends on a lot of things. So that's why sometimes it takes more or less. But they don't use proof of work. What they use is something called proof of stake. So proof of stake's a little different. The Ethereum miners don't have to solve this hash calculation. What they do is they stake Ethereum, and then the blockchain says, oh, okay, well, out of all of those people that have staked Ethereum, I want you to do this block. So they're actually chosen to do the block, and they go, okay, well, it's done. So that's why it actually takes a lot less time than all the miners trying to solve these problems. So the Ethereum network takes a little bit less. So don't confuse this though. They don't get 6.25 Bitcoin because this is not the Bitcoin network. So this one here is what we're talking about. I just thought this was interesting to some people didn't realize, why does it take different time on different blockchains? And that's why. But back to the halvening, because that's actually what we're talking about here. So this is the halvening, and this is the part that we're looking at here. Now, the important thing about this is, we'll start up here. So at the moment, each Bitcoin miner that wins that hash and it's solved the problem and it's authenticated gets 6.25 Bitcoin per block that they do. Now, what's going to happen in April, at some point in April, it's going to halve, and that's why it's called the halvening. So when they do the whole thing that we just saw on the first slide, they're only going to get 3.125 Bitcoin, and that's why it's called the halvening. The reason why the 10 minutes was important is because basically this is not the first halvening. The halvening is designed to happen of every 210,000 blocks, or about every 4 years. And the way they figured that out is, okay, well, every block takes about 10 minutes, and then they add the calculation together and they get, okay, every 4 years we're going to have this. And this little guy right here, it's a little small, but you can blow it up when you're watching the recording. This is not the first halvening that's ever happened. So when Bitcoin first launched, and this is just, you know, oh my goodness, why did we not mine Bitcoin back then? Every time they mined a block of Bitcoin, they got 50 Bitcoin. So 50 Bitcoin was your fee for mining one block of Bitcoin. And that meant, though, that 10 million Bitcoins were released into the system, because, again, don't forget that 50 Bitcoin were minted and released into the market, given to the miners, but that means 50 more Bitcoin were released every block, and they do 210,000 blocks each time. So there was that many Bitcoin released. So the second one, they got 25, and then it halved. So then they got 12.5, now we're here, and then the next one is here. So basically, not only are the miners getting less Bitcoin for mining, there is less Bitcoin being popped out into the market. And Bitcoin only has a finite amount of Bitcoin. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be minted, ever. So this is going to keep happening and happening and happening and happening. It's going to have every 4 years, and there's going to be less Bitcoin released into the market. And the miners are going to get less and less and less. But someone was asking, you know, when is this going to stop? Because eventually there will be no more Bitcoin left. It's the year 2144 or something like that. So unfortunately, you and I and all of us don't have to worry about that. So that's what's going to happen. Now, the reason why this is important is because on the next slide, like I said, the supply of Bitcoin in the market is becoming, well, the new supply. So the supply that's being released into the market is getting less, because now instead of releasing 6.25, they're only releasing 3.125 every time a block. So there's going to be less Bitcoin released into the market. And then also the miners are getting less. So this might be less of an incentive for the miners to mine again. The thing that's important for us really is, well, what's going to happen? All right, well, there's less Bitcoin, which means it's scarcer. That's good. But the miners are not going to have as much money. So are they going to get out of mining, which is going to affect how many transactions go through? And then, so it's kind of a up in the air thing, but no one knows what's going to happen. But the good thing, I guess, is this is historical. So the last 3 times or 4 times or 5 times, every time there was a halvening, Bitcoin went up. So this was the last 3 times. And this was the price on the day. And then this was the price 150 days later. And it went up each time. So a lot of people are thinking that let history repeat itself. And, you know, hopefully it'll go up again after the halvening. So this is why we have to just be aware of the Bitcoin halvening, which is happening sometime in April. They kind of predict the time, but again, they can't, because sometimes it's more than 10 minutes, sometimes it's less than 10 minutes. So we're not quite sure. So why does Bitcoin do this? Why does Bitcoin have halvenings? No, again, no one really knows. It's basically because it was designed to do that. So that the person or people, we don't know, Satoshi Nakamoto or whoever created Bitcoin, designed it like this. So some people think it's because maybe they wanted, a lot of Bitcoin out in the market first, so it would be adopted quicker, or maybe they wanted to release less coins into the market as it got going, but no one really knows why they do this, but this is just what's happening. So really the importance of this is we just have to make sure we know it's happening, that historically it went up after the halvening, and as we see now, Bitcoin is running quite a lot, so this could be affecting it, but we just don't know. So we just have to be aware of it, and we just wanted to bring this to you because I think a lot of people hear of it, Bitcoin's halving, but they don't really know what that means. So hope after this you will. And again, it's a very simple explanation of Bitcoin networks and blockchains, but hopefully it helped a little bit. And that's what I had to say.
It helped a lot, and that was
A lot.
Yeah, that is something I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch and wrap my head around. It's not just it's not so much a math thing as it's just like whoa. And I think for a lot of us who trade on the shorter time frame, like we don't generally care what coin we trade and the project behind it and everything else. But yeah, just to reiterate what I think it was Lewis who said, thanks so much for this lecture. It sounds so unbelievable that all of this happens within seconds. Obviously, with the Bitcoin transactions, 10 minutes roughly, give or take. But what all is involved behind that and who all wins. And I think when it comes to the halvening, I know Marius is upbeat, and looking at historically as well, what you showed us, Vix, that there's a good chance that there's going to be even more of an upswing. I mean, Bitcoin has been teasing. I mean, Wendy was showing us a little earlier, just shy of 60,000 again. Beautiful day trend up there. And the halvening historically has gone up again. So whether you're long term, follow Marius's reports. But if you're scalping, look out for these upswings. I mean, coins are going to be in the upcycle. And it's important to know more about these things and upskill. So thanks, Vix. Thank you very much for that information and educating and enlightening our watchers and our listeners and our community all about that, Vicky. And again, we will be sharing.
It's just more. Oh, sorry. Sorry, John. I think it's actually just more. You're happier, well, I'm happier when I know what's going on. So I think, when you hear these terms like halvening or blockchain or miners, like what is all that? And I think, a little knowledge goes a long way. So we just wanted to give everyone just a little more knowledge.
Beautiful stuff.
More light bulb moments. Awesome.
Many. And again, thanks for all the research on that, Vicky. And it's something that our entire community, Bitcoin TAF, needs to be aware of. And yeah, educate yourself as usual. DYOR. I'd highly recommend, once this edition has been published, go and rewatch this section that Vicky was just showing, and we'll potentially even share it out, maybe even as a blog post on bitcointaf.com. Go check out all the great blog posts across the entire company. But yeah, please educate yourselves. Marcel, did you learn anything there at all? Or is it more about
no, definitely. I think I'll also rewatch it, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I already sent Vicky a DM just telling her thank you, because it's simple, but it's a very effective way of explaining things.
That was probably 5% of what actually happens on the blockchain, but it just helps to know what happens and why it happens.
You simplified it, which was really great.
Yeah, no, speaking of this, it's all about education. There's actually a comment from somebody on the call at the moment. Let me just double check. This person is still on the call. So I'm currently doing the ultimate trading course, and that's through DTM and Nico. Really good in terms of the advanced trading. And we've always recommended Hodlnots is kind of like the foundational course, and it is recommended if you can do it. Because the course again is in March 15th, I think we kick off, and it's roughly about 12 days, and it's full on and intense. Obviously, the Ultimate Trading Course UTC, you're able to watch and do in your own time. There are plenty of modules that you can watch. but it's important to really understand the indicators, relationships with each other, time frames, and then take it to the next level once you've got that foundation done as well. So I'm not sure how far this person is in the UTC course, or UTC at least. And if you're able to jump in March and join us for the sculpting course, again, get it while the price is as it is, because yeah, it really lays the foundation for so much around crypto. How to use TradingView as an example, navigating through the exchanges, but then again, the important thing of understanding how the indicators work together, as well as timeframes. And of course, you get the Hodlnator included there as well. So that's just a little teaser, a little promo. Hopefully that's convinced this person. Hopefully we'll be seeing you. And if anybody wants to find out more, definitely head on over to bitcointough.com, head over to the product store, check out the Hodlnots scalping course, next one coming up in March. We'll be very excited to see all of you there, or at least those of you who haven't done the course. And for those of you who have, and in the den, in the lodge, you guys know what it's about. Yeah, we're very, very excited. And again, thank you, Wendy, so much for taking us through cycles. I'm off to go and attend some fire cycles shortly. And yeah, Vicky, once again, all that effort explaining why it's important to understand about the halvening and how it affects us. Yeah, thanks, team.
Awesome. Thank you all for coming again to our happy hour.
Woo!
I'm going to go eat those chips and dip now and carry on. And I do believe there's some other courses and things going on right now. So other meetings going on, and some people are needing to join those. So carry on.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah, look forward to it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time again. We'll probably have another contest again, just because why not? And we'll be giving you guys a teaser as to what to expect. But we may well continue this conversation about Bitcoin halvening at some point, because yeah, it is something important. But there's so much more to come with the rest of the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout sessions. Happy hour indeed. More drinks next time, Vix. Thanks. That's the order. Again, guys, make sure that if you have any questions around anything Bitcoin Tough related, BTF token, Hodlnots, everything else, you do have the support ticket center in the back office, with sitting at 16,354 support tickets. I think it is, Vix, or something more currently that have been answered. At least keep them coming. We love hearing from you. It's almost like fan in a way. But until next time, thanks Vix, thanks Badger, thanks Wendy. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being on the call as well. Thank you, Vicky. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Nico, for the quick sneak peek.
Absolutely. More on the long-term trade reports and BTF token AMA next week as well. Until then, ciao, ciao.
I'm taking the chips and dip with me. Bye.
Buggy bag. All right. Bye.